For choosing us. Tonight, illegal mining has crept into the Bono East region, threatening parts of the Volta Lake. An intelligence operation by the Kintampo Municipal Assembly has led to the arrest of dozens of miners. Municipal Chief Executive Isaac Donko says they will face prosecution as authorities move to protect the vital water body. Regional correspondent Anas Sabit has more in the following report.
For years, the destructive scourge of illegal mining known locally as Galamsey was a problem for other regions. But as we stand here on the banks of the Volta Lake here in the Kintampo North municipality, it is clear that that era of peace is over. This area, once pristine, is now becoming a new frontier for illegal miners.
It has come to the realization of my municipality that there is a team of Galamseyers who are here. And true, I came here with the military and the police, and true to its word, we have come to realize that they are actually polluting the Black Volta, which is within the Kintampo North municipality here.
The use of mercury and other chemicals to extract gold sediments lead to bioaccumulation in fish, poisoning the food chain and rendering the water unsafe for consumption and agriculture. Municipal Chief Executive for Kintampo North, Isaac Donko, shares the negative effects of Galamsey activities on the livelihoods of the people.
But we have put surveillance on the Black Volta, which is a source of drinking water for my people some of the people in the Kintampo North municipality. We are making sure that that thing should not continue, so that to get people off their livelihood. Some fish there, and during Galamsey, when you are doing Galamsey, you cannot fish. Some also use the water for a whole lot. It is that same water that transcends from this Kintampo North and gets to the Akosombo Dam. Unfortunately, it is the same water we are polluting.
The Assembly has, however, stepped in, arresting some illegal miners to save the situation. The Assembly's swift action comes amid lamentations of the devastating impact these activities are already having.
Thankfully, and God being so good, we got the hint very early, and we have to come out with the needed security intervention, and we have to storm the Black Volta to make sure that this Galamsey menace is nipped in the bud. And as I speak with you, when we are talking of Galamsey in the Kintampo North municipality, it is a thing of the past. The action that we went and took there, the security measures that we went and took there is no Galamsey going on.
The battle for the Volta Lake has begun. While the authorities promise severe punishment for those caught, the real challenge is protecting this vital resource before the damage becomes irreversible. The people of Bono East are hoping this operation is not just a reaction, but the beginning of a lasting solution. Anas Sabit, JoyNews, Kintampo.
Thankfully, I have the Bono East Regional Minister Francis Owusu-Enchi join us here on JoyNews Prime. We appreciate your time. What measures are you putting in place to ensure these unscrupulous individuals do not return to the Volta Lake?
Thank you very much. I extend my greetings to our cherished viewers and listeners. Yes, as the MC rightly stated, when I heard the news, I gave directives. So a team of security personnel visited the place, and indeed, people were deeply mining inside the Black Volta. So I have received the report. I directed the MCU to invite the stakeholders around the area. We have Yara and Gusuyama area falls under Kintampo North municipality. So last Wednesday, the MC and his team met the opinion leaders, the chiefs, and the other people to advise them. When you go to Kintampo South, we still experience the same illegal mining activity around Ayoya area and New Longro. Over there, I went there myself with my team, and we were able to confiscate 4 excavators. Now, measures that we are putting in place. One has to do with education. We have to educate the people for them to understand the need for them to stop this illegal activity. If they want to mine, the president has stated clearly that responsible mining is what he is going to support. So we are equally advising the people to make sure they register their interest in responsible mining. Secondly, when it comes to our action to calm down the miners, we've also decided to monitor the area as and when the need arises. So I have informed my RESEC. We do visit the place, and constant monitoring, I think, will help reduce the activity.
And are you increasing police visibility in the area?
Come again?
Are you liaising with the police to increase visibility in the area, just to protect the source of water?
I've engaged them. I've engaged police, and thankfully the 3 regional ministers, we have Bono regional minister, I have a regional minister, and myself, Bono East Regional Minister, we've agreed in principle to carry on this activity together. Anytime I go to the site, I have the right to cross to Savannah to operate, because we know how they operate. When you go to Bono East, they will migrate to Ahafo. Then they will tell you don't have right to come to Ahafo. So this time, the 3 regional ministers, we've agreed in principle that anytime we execute this action, we can go to any of the regions.
And then I'm quite interested, because when it comes to the livelihoods of individuals in that part of the country, one of the key sources of livelihood for farmers is the Volta Lake. And so the activities of these miners, have we done any checks to show, indeed, that the lake is safe for fishing at this time?
Yes, we are on it. Unlike previously, this time it's getting better. But my current intel indicates that the people are coming back into site. So we are also mobilizing to meet them. We are mobilizing to make sure we move them out of the site.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your time here on JoyNews Prime. Let's stay a bit on Galamsey, because the Ghana Water Limited has shut down its Kwayanku treatment plant in the central region after illegal miners polluted the source beyond treatment. The closure has forced thousands of residents to depend on tanker services and boreholes, raising fears of another public health emergency. The Deputy Director of Public Health in the Central Region, Dr. Jojo Kobna, joins us via Zoom with more on this. Just paint a picture for us, really. What's the current situation on the ground?
Thank you very much for your question, and good evening to your viewers and listeners. Well, Central Region, we all know of our perennial water shortages, and that in the recent past we've had issues around disease outbreaks in waterborne diseases like cholera and the rest. And so currently we don't have, although there seem to be some amount of water shortage, but the rains coming in have been helpful. So currently we don't have any health situation that is directly related to the shortage, the presumed shortage of water in the region.
And what measures are you putting in place to ensure the situation remains same?
So as a health service provider, we are constantly doing what we call surveillance of disease conditions within our jurisdiction. And then we also engage, we do a lot of, based on our previous experience, we are doing a lot of risk communication and community engagement. So almost everybody in the Central Region, if we do random sampling, should be able to tell you about the preventive measures that they can use to prevent the outbreak. So we are emphasizing on wash conditions. So water sanitation and hygiene practices within our communities, so that everybody now learns how to get potable water to drink. The leadership within the community are able to also provide adequate sanitation access to people. And then we also learn about hygiene, like keeping ourselves, washing our hands, keeping our environment clean. And these are the measures that we've put in place to ensuring that the issue of waterborne outbreaks do not occur.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time here on JoyNews Prime. Away from that, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has arrived in Côte d'Ivoire on a 2-day working visit to address the welfare of over 13,000 Ghanaians sheltering in asylum camps. These citizens fled to the neighboring country after violent clashes erupted in Binyuri in the Savannah region, prompting a humanitarian response from Ghana and international partners. My colleague Blessed Suga fathers report from Ivory Coast.
And yes, that's right. A couple of minutes ago, the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa arrived here in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, ahead of a scheduled visit, a mission that he intends to embark on to ascertain the influx of some Ghanaians into Côte d'Ivoire following the Binyuri clashes which emerged a couple of weeks ago. Tension has been escalating across the border. Is the reason for which we've seen many Ghanaians in that part of the Savannah region flow over into the Ivory Coast, a reason for which the minister is here just to get a first-hand experience of what's been happening ever since the reports emerged. What I can tell you now is that Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa is in a meeting with his counterpart and other officials from Ivory Coast here at the Sofitel Hotel within the Abidjan area. And of course, the confirmation we're getting now is that the minister would want to spend some time, visit the site himself, and to get first-hand information on what may have led to many more Ghanaians fleeing into this area. In a few hours from now, we're expecting that, of course, we'll get to hear a bit more from the foreign minister on what his plans are, because now these individuals have moved into Ivory Coast, and per international law, you cannot forcefully move them back into Ghana. That would take another level of diplomatic efforts to try and tackle the situation. So it's the reason for which the minister has been interacting with a number of Ghanaian officials who are working here on behalf of the government of Ghana, and also his counterparts from the Ivory Coast side. What we can tell you for now is that, of course, the minister, just as the Interior Minister announced on the Super Morning Show a couple of days ago on radio, is that the official numbers are peaking around 13,000 individuals who we understand have been confirmed that they've moved over across the border into Ivory Coast. And there are questions emerging as to their safety, how they are feeling, and who's even feeding them at this asylum camp. So stay with us. We'll be bringing you some updates, and I can confirm now to you that the minister has arrived. We're waiting for more updates, and then we'll get to update our viewers on what the next steps will be. But primarily for the Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, we know that he's had a very long schedule moving all the way from East Africa, Addis Ababa, on the sidelines of the climate talks and diplomatic efforts going on there in Addis, and moving right straight into this engagement. So you can, of course, imagine how heavy his schedule is now as we speak on what he plans to do here. A very short trip, we understand, but of course, the indication we're getting is that he would want to see firsthand what the situation is, receive reports, and get some more updates. But there's no fair detail or firm detail, I should say, as to where exactly all of these Ghanaian individuals are right now.
Meanwhile, schools in Binyuri Township have been closed for weeks due to violent clashes that displaced thousands of children, leaving them without access to classrooms. Authorities are taking steps to restore normalcy, with the Savannah Regional Minister Salisu B. Awuribi confirming that beefed-up security measures are in place to ensure safety and the teaching and learning of pupils go on as planned.
Our security plan to put security men at most of their communities, and indeed where we cannot get even security men at most of the community, but they should be located within a certain nucleus. Tents are being erected for the security men so that within a short time, if there's anything, they can quickly rush to the said area to be able to attend to the issues on hand. We are aware that the conflict has subsided, and indeed the leadership are working very feverishly to make sure that we build the level of trust and confidence. We are equally aware that miscreants can want or may want to take advantage of this situation and carry out some nefarious activities of their criminal acts. Now, the difference is that they were patrolling. The men were patrolling and stationed at major towns.
Well, the Ghana Education Service has decided to keep schools closed, citing risks to teachers and pupils as a primary reason. Let's listen to the Public Relations Officer for the service, Daniel Finn.
The moment that's what has happened, schools have closed down, learners have joined their parents, their families. Some of them have been camped, all in a bid to ensure that their lives are adequately protected. Whilst we still monitor the situation on the ground, we still follow the conflict, we continue to engage the stakeholders and everyone involved to help us take some helpful decisions going forward. And at the moment, that's what we are doing.
The New Patriotic Party is gearing up for a fiery nationwide protest on Tuesday, September 23, 2025, against what they term, quote, state-sponsored harassment, unquote, targeting prominent members of the party. This move follows the recent remand of the party's Bono Regional Chairman, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Bronya DC, who has been slapped with charges of offensive conduct and publication of false news. Kenneth Jesse has more.
Abronya DC was arraigned today on charges of offensive conduct conducive to the breach of public peace and publication of false news. The party's national organizer Henry Nanabuachi insists the move is politically motivated and part of a broader pattern of intimidation aimed at silencing outspoken voices within the NPP.
This unfair application of the law, the bias is becoming too much. We are going to rise up against this unfortunate treatment. It looks like state institutions being weaponized to humiliate the New Patriotic Party.
Meanwhile, Minority Leader Alexander Penyo-Markin has accused the Ghana Police Service of abusing the rights of Abronya by keeping him in custody, despite him not being interrogated by the police.
His rights are being abused using the courts as a channel. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, yesterday when a UK Minister of State visited Parliament, in my interactions, I had this to say, that the time has come for political leaders to end the I do you, you do me, or you do me, I do you.
Lawyer for Abronya, Enoch Afuakwa, said the continuous detention of his client is a breach of the 1992 Constitution.
Against an accused person who has not pleaded guilty to the offences that he has been charged with, and a clear breach of Article 19(2)(c) of 1992 Constitution. But we believe in the rule of law and due process. Certainly, we have the instruction of our client to pursue their matter, and as far as that is concerned, we will climb up and make sure that his liberty is restored. Certainly, he has been remanded into police custody.
Organizers have also called on civil society groups, student bodies, and democracy advocates to join the march, framing it as not just an NPP struggle, but a national one against political persecution.
Join us now for more on this is the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Haruna Mohammed. We appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime. Now, you say this nationwide protest is to start on the 23rd of this month. Tell us about how you plan to execute it.
Thank you very much, Audrey. That's a good evening to your charity, US, and then other followers on our social media platforms. The MPP, as a political party, has always been the beacon of democracy in Ghana. What is currently happening in Ghana today under the President John Dramani Mahama is a mockery part of it. There seems to be a balance of justice in Ghana, and I think that the right way to let the public about it is one of the and that is demonstrated and taken. And others organized new part of participated under the New Patriotic test on that. We will have to provide.
Mr. Haruna, you have to position rightly. I seem to be losing you, and it's difficult to hear you. But then,
Yes.
have you written officially to the
I can hear you
police?
now.
Yes, I can hear you now. Have you written officially to the police to get protection ahead of that protest?
Yes, we are taking the Public Order Act into consideration, and we are going to apply everything that is contained in the Public Order Act. And that is why I have said that the MPP is a beacon of democracy, and we want to protect the sanctity of our democracy in Ghana. One may ask, why are we doing this? So, see, if you look at the NDP since they came into power, they have weaponized the police service and national security and other security agencies to only go after members of the New Patriotic Party. And in most of the cases, some of the people that they have gone after have not been arraigned before court properly. And sometimes the crimes that they are being asked that they have committed is something just you cannot write about. So I don't know whether their interest in persecution rather than prosecution has been what we promised the good people of Ghana.
And you will be submitting a petition to the IGP, I'm told. Is that right? What are the key details in this petition you'll be submitting?
But we are learning today that the IGP is informing us that Soko Azoka was arrested, arraigned before court, and he has been bailed. And none of the media houses is aware of this. We are just being told which court, where, which bail, what is the crime. We have submitted a pitch. You told us we need to have time. Then now, because abroad has chosen and he another
Oh dear, Haruna, it's happening again where I'm losing you. So position rightly and let's wrap this up within a minute. The police put out a statement giving us details about the arrest of Soko Azoka. Are you saying you do not believe the police that he has indeed been arrested and granted bail?
Firstly, your reporter in the court has your reporter filed this story with you upon witnessing a prosecution for appearance and also a bail condition being put out. Has any of your court reporters reported this particular story? And is that to get? Is that able?
Oh dear. Haruna, your network doesn't seem to be favorable, but point noted. Thank you so much for your time here on JoyNews Prime. Away from that, President Mahama has announced that the first processing plant under the Nkukon Kitinkiti project is currently in the procurement stage, with construction expected to begin soon at sites across the country. He expressed confidence that within the next 3 years, Ghana will produce nearly 100% of its chicken requirement.
Next month, we are going to launch the Nkukon Kitinkiti project. And so, we are going to build processing plants in different parts of the country. And the first processing plant is going through procurement. And once the procurement authority approves it, we will start to construct it. Other parts of the country would also have processing plants. So when we buy the chicks off you, we'll take them to the processing plants, we'll process the chickens and package them nicely with Nkukon Kitinkiti brand on them, and then we'll supply them directly to the supermarkets and to the cold store owners who sell chicken. This will help us to cut our huge poultry import bill. We should be able to produce enough poultry to feed the whole of Ghana. Once the Nkukon Kitinkiti project takes off, we believe that in 3 years, we'll be producing almost 100% of the chicken that we eat in Ghana ourselves.
Pupils of Isubrofo Basic School are studying in the open after their classrooms were declared a death trap. Dilapidated structures with ripped-off roofs, made learning quite unsafe for them. Yet, just a few meters away, a new facility stands abandoned due to lack of funds. And as Sabit reports on a community caught in this painful irony.
This is the sound of learning here at the Absubrafo Basic School, but it is a learning in survival. These aging buildings, once a place of hope, are now a shell of their former selves. Look up, the roofing is ripped and rusted. Look around, the walls are webbed with visible cracks. A death trap threatening to give way at any moment. Mona Nathaniel is the assistant headmaster here. He shares some horrifying experiences the school is being faced with.
As you can see, we are facing most challenges here. My immediate left is the primary 6, class 4, class 5, and then the rest. So if you are here, this is how the school is. We are in difficult situations right now.
The crisis is so severe that one block has been completely abandoned. With no alternative, classrooms have moved outdoors. Under the scorching sun or the faintest drizzle, learning grinds to a halt. This harsh reality is driving parents away, and Nathaniel tells me the school has no other option but to keep the pupils under this risky structure.
The situation here is very, very bad. But as things hold now, this is what we can do. We can't do anything else apart from them being here.
Some parents who take the risks of seeing their walls steady here lament the difficulties their children go through daily. But just a stone's throw away from the crumbling classrooms lies a symbol of stalled hope. This abandoned structure was initiated about a year ago under the OPEC fund financed by the Australian government. It was meant to be the solution. Now it stands as a monument to delay.
This is supposed to come with a 12-seater toilet facility and a mechanized borehole. And so it's a modern toilet facility that will serve the school. And then we believe that that will bring a quick relief, a total transformation about the educational life of the students in this school.
He sends a passionate appeal to the Finance Ministry to hasten the processes by releasing funds to complete this facility, a move he says will prevent a potential disaster and invest in the future of these children. So the community here in Asubrafo is caught between the peril of the old and the promise of the new, a promise that remains frustratingly out of reach. The question now is how long these children will have to wait before their right to safe, secure education is no longer just a blueprint but a reality. Anna Sabit, JoyNews, Asubrafo.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime. When we return from this quick turn, we ask a very pertinent question. There are calls for Ghana to revise the legal age of consent. We'll hear your thoughts after this quick turn. Thanks for staying with us here on JoyNews Prime. To other stories now, there are calls for Ghana to revise the legal age of consent for sex as part of efforts to end child marriage and teenage pregnancies. The National House of Chiefs is demanding a change from the current 16 years, describing the law as a barrier to progress. Its president, Ojiahoho Yao Jibi II, says reforms is urgently needed to protect young girls, especially in rural areas. Emmanuel Bright Kweko reports from a workshop on child marriage and gender-based violence.
Nation's Population Fund is rallying support from traditional leaders to end the societal menace. The organization has been educating members of the National House of Chiefs on the negative societal impact of the seeming customary norms and the urgent need for elimination. Ghana's Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, outlines the age of sexual consent at 16 years old. There are concerns about the discrepancies over the constitutional age for marriage and sexual consent in Ghana. Principal State Attorney Victoria Esiedua says a constitutional reform is underway.
With the issue of consent, the legal age of sexual consent, which is 16 years, under Section 14 of the Criminal Offences Act, and the issue of the legal age of marriage, which is 18 years, as specified under the Children's Act. This one presents a deficiency in the law because it appears as though it's a clawback clause. We call it clawback clause. The law is giving you the power to do something with one hand, and with another hand, the law is taking it back.
President of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yaujebi II, is backing the calls for the reform.
If you allow a girl to have sex at 16, it's a physiological need. Sex at a certain stage is a physiological need. So if the girls are not mature enough at that age, why do we encourage them to consent to sex? And then ask them to wait for 2 more years before they can be married. And I'm happy you say you are looking at this part of the law and that will be rectified very, very soon.
Away from that, Kumasi will come to a standstill on Thursday, September 18, as Municipal Palace enforces strict rules for the burial rites of the late Asante Hima Nana Konadu Yadum III. The Funeral Planning Committee has directed schools, offices and businesses to close in honor of the late Queen Mother. Street vendors, tricycles and motorcycles are also banned from operating around the palace during the funeral rites. There's more in the following report.
The Funeral Planning Committee, chaired by the Omanhene of the Bompata traditional area, Nana Efa Apenting, is assuring of order, dignity and security during the burial rites. Nana Efa Apenting cautioned that on Thursday night, everyone should remain indoors as the Queen Mother will be sent to Breman for the interment.
Na Muina Munim Any Braba Bien Mamre, Un Mamra, Un Sa Mamre. Yawadana Eko Kraya Nanano Edika Yimwa Sutri Yedinabeko Ubiani Fako Edinabeko Bremai Bantuma Afe Ko Bremai Esramo Enumreno Munshefi Wai.
We will appeal that the night of Thursday for the interment of Asante Hima, every activity is ceased. There is no need to be blockheaded. Let's obey the rules as set and uphold this culture. When you know culture, you don't destroy it.
Sante Hima yeni ayeno. Mobie miye ni shopo. Aha. Ufa ni die ni obuo. Mayana. Yempesi Jojo Obia, Nempesa Sabia Bisia, Uni accreditation, baby will have Untiminko, Intianko, and yeah, Asubracha Simbia.
It is not only stores that should be closed. Businesses and offices should be closed. This is the burial service of the Asante Hima, and we will admonish that all attendees maintain order. If you are not permitted to access an area, make sure you do not overstep. Obey the rules of movement.
Still in the Ashanti region, the Inchimchim is a century-old hairstyle reserved for royal maidens of the Asante Hima. Once a proud symbol of identity in the Asante Kingdom, it is today worn only by the Queen Mother's maidens at the Municipal Palace. Emmanuel Brad Kwaku once again explores its cultural weight and the story of the families chosen to serve the Queen Mother.
The royal maidens of the Asante Hima, known locally as Imodrafo, are the unique servants of the Queen Mother who run errands for her both indoors and publicly. They lead and sit right before the Asante Hima at Deba grounds, just like the Afinagrafo of the Asante Hima's courts. The appellation at this Deba to the Asante Hima, Nana Konadu Yadum III, was to be the last time they would ever chant to the 14th Queen Mother of the Asante Kingdom. Today, grief fills their hearts. A queen they had always called a caring mother has left them to take the deep sleep. They chant and sing some of the favorite songs of the deceased Queen Mother to adore her. While their service may be likened to the maidens of other subordinate queens in the kingdom, their unique hairstyle sets them apart. As the queen joins her ancestors, these maidens pay their last respects to her with a unique Inchinchim hairstyle. The Modrahini leads and guides the duties of these ladies at the Queen's Palace.
This hairstyle distinguishes them from the other maidens. Once you see them, then you know the Asante Hima is making an appearance.
With the scissors and comb, 6 curvy lines are cut through their hair to secure their royal identity.
We hold the middle of the hair and cut through it to form 6 lines. We leave some hair at the forehead and at the back of the head.
Drawn from other royal families in the kingdom, they are attendants of purity and loyalty, whose very presence magnifies the honor of the Queen's stool.
They're replaced when they grow up and get married. We start grooming them at the age of 7. They come from various families in the kingdom.
As Asanteman prepares for the Dotiye or burial rites of the Asante Hima, what are the fondest memories she left these maidens?
Oh, yes, Anima. She saw us as her children and grandchildren. She accepted us as her own. It's through her that we are also deemed relevant. This is a challenging time for us.
For these maidens, the fondest memory, legacy, and impact of their Asante Hima, Nana Knedu Yadom III, will forever be etched in their hearts and minds. Indeed, a dear Ato Asante Mayeni, Demri Fedri Nana, Demri Fedri. From here at the Municipal Palace in Kumasi, my name is Emmanuel, Bright Creek.
Away from the Ashanti region, the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair has opened today at the Good Park near Accra Mall with irresistible discounts for home seekers. For the next 3 days, real estate developers, home improvement firms and financial institutions will showcase solutions to make home ownership easier. Visitors can explore housing options, consult industry experts, and access special financing packages. Adobe Asari reports.
The 3rd mini clinic of the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair kicked off today at Good Park near Accra Mall. This year's edition is focusing on making one's journey to a comfortable modern home even more accessible and affordable. Real estate companies and vendors who deal in everything housing and what makes a home a complete one pitched their tents.
Which packages are you giving to our patrons today if we want to patronize you?
We are giving up to 30% discount. Yes. So depending on what you choose from us. So you just come to our space. We have samples that we have. We choose from it. We do curtains for you.
Superlock Technologies Limited. We're located in Jolu. We've always been part of this fair. We're giving some good away discounts, as in the security doors, 15% on anyone you choose, 20% on the kitchens as well.
This is Carita Furniture. We deal in home furnishings, which is sofa, dining, and then doors. We are into sofas. We have varieties. We have varieties of sofas and then kitchen appliances with doors as well.
So Drive VGH is an electric vehicle dealership, right? So we sell the cars, we provide after-sales services and support, and also we have maintenance stations that take care of all after sales and everything, you get it? We also build in charging infrastructures across country, where if you want to charge your car, it will make it easy for you.
So today, EcoBank is here to open accounts. Yeah, all type of account. You have current account, you have savings account. With our savings account, there's no charge, it's charge free. With our current account, it's mainly for loans. If you're interested in loan, that's what we open the currents for you.
Some patrons shared with Joy News their experience at the fair.
This is the third time I'm visiting the EcoBank Habitat Fair, and I come around to look at what the developers have and also their houses, what they are building, and then what is yet to their new developments. Yeah, so that I could refer to clients.
And I've known the fair for about 5 years, and I know it's an avenue for the players in the industry to exhibit their products. Those that have competitive prices will get the sales.
The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair runs till Sunday, September 14. Patrons are entreated to take advantage of this fair and enjoy great discounts.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime. When we return, we'll bring you showbiz. Please stay tuned in.